If I told you that I built a fully custom, enterprise-grade operating system for a high-growth agency in exactly 48 hours, you probably wouldn't believe me. Traditional software logic says that's impossible. It says you need a team of designers, a month of wireframing, and 3 months of coding just to get a beta out. But traditional software logic is dead. Today, I'm going to show you the self-driving agency system I built. It doesn't just automate a few tasks, it completely productizes an entire service delivery model. And yes, from the first line of the schema to the final deployment, it only took 2 days. This all started when I sat down with the founder of MailMob. From the outside, the agency was doing really well, but inside, they were drowning. The founder, Holly, explained that every time she signed a new client, she felt a pit in her stomach. It meant more onboarding, more hires, more spreadsheets, just to manage the chaos. They were stuck in the high-ticket, low-margin trap. They had human glue everywhere. Staff whose only job was moving data between tabs. I told her, I can build a custom OS to handle your onboarding and delivery, and I'll have it ready by Monday morning. She literally laughed in my face. She never considered this and had thought software like that would take 6 months and 50 grand. The idea of doing it in a weekend seemed impossible to her. I said, just watch me. Before the build, their process was a graveyard of Slack threads and sticky notes. On Monday morning, I demoed a dashboard where clients could onboard themselves without a single manual email. That was the moment she realized she didn't need a bigger team, she just needed a better engine. Now, the reason I could do this isn't because I'm a fast typer. It's because of the modular stack and the product mindset we've been talking about on my channel. Yes, I've been building software for years with the help of large development teams and multi-million-pound budgets, but I don't need that anymore. While most developers are busy writing boilerplate code, I'm using Lovable to generate a production-ready interface, Supabase to architect a professional backend, and N8N to build the deep business logic, because those tools talk to each other perfectly. I'm not building a no-code hack, and the results speak for themselves. Let's take a look at the MailMob system. Here we'll go through the same demo that I showed Holly, as if I was a new client they'd just signed. The client would enter their email, set up a password, and get a confirmation via email. From there, they come into this onboarding screen. Note, at this point, there's not been any sales call. There's been no contact. They've simply seen an ad and then shown up on the website, understood the service, and started their onboarding journey through the software. So upon entry, the user will see the onboarding video prompt. They can click to watch it. This has not been populated yet, obviously. Once I've done that, they can hide that onboarding step. From there, they're prompted to set up their brand guidelines for the business that they've just created. MailMob is an email marketing agency, so they need to understand the brand and the tone of voice, all of these types of things to make sure they generate high-performance emails. So by clicking on Complete Setup, the user is prompted to set up the website URL, add logos. I'm not going to do that now for speed. They can add colors, selecting, button colors need to be this red color, and any backgrounds need to be in this gray, and move on to the next steps where they start to put in typography. So here they can enter the font for, say, the body, and using Poppins for the body, and so on and so forth. From here, they can enter the copy guidelines and visual guidelines that they may have for their brand, and any asset links to folders to access files, these types of things to help build out email campaigns with decent photography, for example. Then once a setup is complete, it updates the onboarding to show the completion, and they can eventually remove that. From here, it's time for a new request. As you can see at the moment, there's no request. These are normally email requests that the customer would make, and we can see the delivered emails, but obviously they're early on in their journey. So it's prompting them to then create their first request. Here, if I go to create request, and informs me that they need to start a 7-day trial, and you can click on here to see the different subscription options and opt in to a plan. This would take you to a Stripe page, and then the subscription will be started to then start the process of requesting emails. This whole onboarding journey typically took a week of back and forth, organizing calls, all of these types of things. I won't go into the further functionality of the product, but this is just the beginning of it. As you can see, a much cleaner user experience for MailMob clients. Now, you might be thinking there literally must be a catch here. That must be buggy. It must be shallow. It's actually the opposite. Because I handled the whole build myself, I'm the one scoping it, creating features, and subsequently testing. Because I know it inside out, I can cater for all the edge cases. More time to test, more time to make it sticky. The business outcome for this agency was immediate. They went from a service that relied on the founder's brain to a product that runs on a system. They debottlenecked their capacity overnight and changed their entire business model, going from a sales-led organization to a marketing organization with self-sign-up. Look, don't get me wrong, this wasn't a magic button situation. This was an intensive, highly focused weekend. But in a traditional dev shop, a project like this is a nightmare of coordination. You have the front-end developer waiting on the back-end developer, who's waiting on the database admin, who's waiting on the product manager to approve a change. Most of that 6-month timeline is just people sitting in meetings talking about work instead of doing it. But seeing as it was only me, with the support of AI tools, meant I could play every role at once. I wasn't wasting time writing boilerplate, CSS, or debugging syntax. I was focused entirely on the product logic. If I needed to pivot a database relationship, for example, I didn't need a meeting. I just updated the prompt and watched the schema evolve in seconds. By Sunday afternoon, I wasn't just fixing bugs, I was polishing the experience. I was making sure the dashboard felt like an iPhone, not a spreadsheet. And this is what's possible when you stop being an automator and start being a systems architect. You aren't just saving minutes, you are creating business assets. Now, I know a lot of you builders out there are going to want to see exactly how the sausage was made. You'll want to see the NA10 nodes, the Superbase tables, and the specific prompts I used in Lovable to get the result. Because this was such a comprehensive build, the full unedited walkthrough is over 3 hours long. It is a literal masterclass in modern software construction. And I've uploaded that entire 3-hour deep dive into our Stack Labs community. If you want to see the raw process of how I built this impossible system in 48 hours, click the link in the description and join us. It's where I'm showing builders how to move from simple zaps to this level of delivery. Or if you're an agency owner or a founder who just wants your own productized software system, if you want to turn your messy service into a productized machine in days, not months, reach out to me at Foundana. The speed is real, the scale is real. We are literally living in the future right now. Let's do it.